All right, friends. So summary of the Maimer so far. So Chazal say, based on the pasuk, Isha ki Tazreea v'yolda zocher. What's the ki Tazreea? When a woman bears seed or gives seed, then a male is born. So I didn't say yesterday, but the obviously thing that a zocher implies permanence, as opposed to nekeva. That's why the 10th song, all the songs we sang till now to the Eibishter are called Shira, the feminine. At last love will be Shir Chodosh, because all the songs of praise we sang were followed by subsequent Golus, but the final exile will be the final song after which there will be no Golus. In Avodah it means midas, what's born from Seichel. So V'yolda Zocha means that the midas last. And if not, then Yolda and the Keva, then they exist, but temporary. So what makes the Inyan of Kiyolda Zochar? Kisazriya, says Chazal. So it depends who initiates Kisazriya, seeds first, whatever that means physiologically, I don't know. But Akoponim, so if she is Mazriya first, then Yolda Zochar. And if he is, then Yolda Nekeva. So the Alter Rebbe brought from the philosophy, and then we learned in the Ha'ar, etc., that he brings their pirush, in order to bring out their maila. There's a maila in that pirush, and then to bring out even greater the pirush that the maskana. So the philosophers explain, and moreover, the philosophers give really the foundation of our pirush, because they point out accurately that the Alter Rebbe doesn't disagree with what they say, namely that if Isha ki Tazreea, when the woman seeds first, then that's in place, and then the male seed is on top. Comes on top, like you put something in like Rashi brings the marshal of Yaakov and Esav, right? Yaakov came out later, but he was really there, like in the test tube, like a little tube. The pebble you put in first comes out afterwards. Somewhat related. Akaponim, so they're saying that Ilo Gova, and that's in halacha. One thing is on top of the other, so the one that is on top has more influence, or has influence on the bottom rather than the bottom on the top. It dominates. So what's the ma'ila of Isha ki Tazreea? Because she's first and therefore secondary, and then comes the inyan of what? Of the Ish ki Tazreea. So that's why Yolda Zochar, because he ended up having the final word, as it were, the great Ashba, being the Ilah. So the Rebbe said it's a doichik because the pasuk, according to this, it comes out by Yolda Zochar. It's thanks to the male, not the female, but she just kind of allows the room for the male to dominate. She submits to the male. That's not the pshat. Isha ki Tazreea focuses on the Isha, period, on the makabel, and that's Yolda Zochar. So therefore, the pirish is adarabah, the maila in the Isha and the recipient in the makabel. And what is this? This is all a moshel for Eden and the Eibishter. Isha is Knesset Yisrael, Machas Datzilus Eden the Shomas, and the Eibishter is the husband. So there's two kinds of relationship initiated from above to below, or below to above, and each one's in the maila. When the Yisrael says the relationship with God is determined, is defined by the Eibishter, the maila is that it's a relationship we could never have on our own, never reach on our own. It's conferred from above. That's the maila, it's higher. But when it comes milamata, so that's what the chiddush of the pasuk is. Then mamash v'yolda zocha, that's permanent and pnimius. That's the maskana. We didn't do out of 7. Did we do out of 7, friends? Tell me.
No.
Let's do it. So he said,
But there's another implication in Isha ki Tazreea that I don't, is that it comes from the woman, not as a result of.
What are we saying? It's not that. What are you adding?
No, that not because of tchila, but because mitzad the Isha ki Tazreea. That's in, I think, that's in the the Torah.
I'm asking what did we say now? That's not that. We're saying the Maila when the Avodah comes from Tzad Lamata, then it's more Pnimius. It comes from Pnimius Ha'or. When the Sarus is coming from above, it's Makif, it's Chitzonius Ha'or. It's enveloping, but not Pnimius, and therefore it doesn't last. What you say, adding something?
No, sure. And maybe the Susidul Ela, if the Avodah comes from the Susidul Ela,
yeah,
that's Ish ki Tazreea.
Right, and that doesn't last. It's Makif.
Okay.
It's not the old Zocha. This Oider is temporary. That's the old and the Keva.
The result is temporary.
The result is temporary. Yold and the Keva means, like, it just occurs to me now, that Yold and the Keva means it needs constant fueling. You're always a makabel, and so to maintain the inspiration has to keep coming. Yold the Zocha means that, quite literally, you become a mashpia. You have these real midas that are part of you now, an internalized relationship, and you can affect others. Such a person who is Yold in the Keva can't be mashpia on others, because he can't get into the world, doesn't get into the world. He's just riding on the inspiration that is coming to him, environmental, whatever it is, coming from the Abish to coming from above. So while he's there, he's inspired, but then he moves away from that moment. He's not inspired. That's the old in the cave, and he can't be a mashpia. But each one is a maila. The maila is, when you're in a place where the inspiration is not from you, but it's coming from the maila. It's you're lifted to a place you could never ever experience on your own. Poshet, by the Rebbe, etc. And the special moments, everybody's lifted then to a connection that is otherwise completely beyond us. But if that's all it is, as we all know, it doesn't last. So out of 7, he says, what do you say in the Pnim? What did the Maimon say in the Pnim? I can't find it. Yeah, but it's about the Amshocha that comes from Zerusah de Latatis, from the Pnimius Oir. It's from the Pnimius Oir above, and it also enters the Pnimius of the Makabel. What does it mean? Someone tell me, Pnimius Oir. The Ibish is Pnimius Oir, as opposed to Makif.
The Pnimius from the Makif.
Okay, he said words, and yeah, I'm trying to
from a place.
He pushed it English again now, university student, the Mid Talmud, Pnimius Ha'or. Pnimius Ha'or means expressive of Hashem's inner desire. And his relationship, his desire, is a relationship with us. A relationship with us in a most internal way, limited and flawed as it might be, but it's real. That evokes his Pnimius Kavana. That's his Pnimius Kavana. Pnimius Ha'or means what he really wants. So as we learn elsewhere in Chassidus, what begins the process is Amshocha Makif. But that's not a relationship when we're just being blown away by God. He wants us to internalize his presence. That touches his Pnimius. That's what I want. That's what Pnimius meaning his inner Kavana. That's where he's to be found. So Order 7 says, on those words, see the Torah there. The Zohar Talmud Asher Isha Mazas Tchila V'Yiledes Zochar. That's the Rebbe concludes that why if the Avodah is Mitzad the Mata, then that produces a permanent internalized emotion, relationship, inspiration, when they, we just said that in the Pnim, he's just saying, that's what the Rebbe says in the Torah, that when the Amshocha is through our Avodah, we're touching the Eibishter in the Pnimistic way. It's a lower madrege because it's tailored to us. But like emes, the Kudus emes is on every level. Right? The Kudus emes is mavrich men akotze lakotze. The Kudus emes is there in essence. Is I'm there. The manifestation is, since it's through our Avodah, is limited. But in that limited expression is I. Are these just words or they mean something? There's, in a relationship, to husband and wife, there can be grand gestures. There are grand moments and there are smaller moments. There are big moments of engagement and there's casual moments of engagement and there's big occasions of vacation, whatever, spending a long time, spending a little bit of time. But there's two ways that could be. It could be that the relationship is based on that. So you spend a long time together, so you're closer. You spend less time, you're not so close. Or in every moment, that's a real moment. It's not bechitzonius and no big deep DMC. You just a casual encounter with your wife, everyday stuff, but totally invested in that, both of you. Both of you. Talking about the Shmuel Shbalter. My wife was saying to our sister Lodasi, they wanted, Shmuel didn't speak a lot, but a very quiet man. But she spoke about their marriage. You got to send, I once told you this, it's a word from Manis Friedman. A marriage is that when a couple's in the room doing different things, and you walk in there, you feel like you're intruding. They're not even actually engaged, but there's this is incredible connection. That's Pnimius. That's Pnimius, but the Chitzonius is Bakbolov. It's not even, it's a small thing. He said, pass the water, said nothing. Maybe no words even. But Pnimius, they are connected. So she was saying that the Shmuel, you sense when and Mr. Spalt were together, they were just happy to be in each other's presence, and it was palpable. It was palpable. That's Pnimius Oyer. Bechitzonius, there's no big giluyim. But every moment's a moment. It's total, and it's you, and you can't share that with anybody else. The chitzonius, the things you can share with other people, DMCs and having a good time and going on vacation and rowing a boat together, whatever, hiking. You can do that. A lot of people share a good joke and a laugh. That you can have, but the way you laugh and the pnimius of those moments, that's when they said it's arusa de latata, which means if you're invested in a relationship, then every moment is everything. And if not, there's big moments and small moments. You're far, you're close, it's all. You inspire me, we're close. You don't inspire me, I'm distant. I like what I'm seeing with you, we're close. I don't like it, I'm far. That's makifdik. That's when I'm feeding off what you're giving me. On the other hand, it's high because it's you manipulate me, it's all you. There's that mila to that. But at the end of the day, the mila is dafkis rusa. That's the conclusion of the ois. Yes.
Did we finish the Yeshleimer till the end inside?
I don't know. You told me.
Ephraim.
No. Okay.
I don't think so. Ephraim, did we?
No. So let's do it then.
I think so.
Okay, let's do it.
This concludes everything. The whole philosophy of
Yeshleimer, having said that the two ways of relationship, rusa de leilos, rusa latata. So from that, Yeshleimer, this is the Rebbe's Chidush here, Shemzeh Mishtal Shlim Shnei HaPirushim, these are the two legitimate explanations, hence brought by the Alter Rebbe. In Isha Kisazir V'yol Dezocha Kipshutai, literally how a male child is born. Now, Pirushally, this Azocha, we didn't know, who Mizera is, according to the Pirush of the philosophers, in other words, logic, the easy way, the fast way, immediate result way. That why later Zocha, because it's Zera Ish Dilo Gova, because the upper one that comes after dominates. So Mishtal Shalom, that Pirush is a Pirush in Torah, hence Alter Rebbe brings it, because it devolves from the virtue that is true. Sheba Susa de Leila, when the relationship is all God, blown away by God's magnificence. But Pirush Aledis Azocha, that's falling in love. That's the philosopher thing. Falling in love, you're sweeping me away. The myelin that is that you're sweeping me away. I'm not invested. It's all you. This whole thing is you. This, as we said before, it's makiv to begin with, and will have its inevitable ups and downs, and could not last altogether. It often doesn't. And the second pirush, the Alter Rebbe's pirush, that Adarabba, that Leides HaZochar, is permanent connection, is deeper connection, is Mizera Isha, because of the avoid of the Isha. Mishtalsha, where does that pirush come from? Begashmius, that fact comes from the Maila Dafka, when it's from below to Hashem. Our investment, limited as it is, it's mine. I give you me with all of my limitations and flaws. That's why he brings also the first pirush, that the Zohar comes because of the Ish, because of Ilah Govar. Begashmis Pirush Uleika, even though Begashmis, he concludes that's not the Maskana, the Pirush Aposha, the Pasuk is, it's the Isha Kisazriya that Yol the Zohar, not because she makes way for him. But why does he bring it? You have to understand that there's a mile in Tzarusa Dela. Now, let's continue. Yesh Lahaisif. Ha'ada 8. We're going to see later, even the pirush that brings out the Maila of Sarusa de la Eila. You blow me away. The Iker Maila of Sarusa de itself is only when it comes as a result of investment versus Sarusa de la Tata. We'll see later Sivdalit. That even the Maila of Hashem's inspiration coming to us, when is that truly virtuous? When is Arusa de la Tata before? If it's all chinam and there's no investment, obviously, then it's all substanceless. Okay, let's see in the Maimer itself. Looks like it's a lot of pratim. Let's continue. Here is Beis. Or we should stop and tell the story.
Kadima, go further, perhaps.
Okay.
The story you can say at after 6:30, when everybody's there to get a primer.
Okay.
Invite her.
Not even sure if I have the story.
We can try to finish this minor before next Shabbos. Like this.
We could. It's not long. Yeah. V'yesh lahoisiv the Parshas Tazreea. So we're going to add that it says that Parshas Tazreea become a shonim in many years. Will it be the case this year? No, but in many years it's read b'chedesh Nisan. Shin Yonah, what's in Nisan? Yisarusa de le'ela. Nisan is all about God coming down and redeeming us from above. But Lochin maybe Pirush. That's what Alter Rebbe brings. This Pirush, the first one, Shaleides Hazochem Zera Ish, that the virtue lies in the Zera Ish. Live before Pirush Shaleides Hazochem Zera Ish, the second Pirush, that it comes from. The enduring relationship comes from Zera Isha. Why? Because this is Nisan. What are we emphasizing? The month of Nisan. And friends, right now we are at the climactic moments. Tonight's Chav Ches Nisan, correct? And what's Chav Ches Nisan? Isn't that interesting? Chav Ches Nisan just occurs to me. On the other hand, it's Nisan. It's all about Terusa de Le'ela, and it's Koyach, which means that it's powerful. What's that about demanding? You got to do it. All this is Terusa de Le'ela. It's got to bring Terusa de Le'tata in the deepest way. We could have waited 2 days to say it, you know. But there's no waiting for that. This is the time is now. But Dafke Nisan. So, Pashas Tazreea is in Chedesh Nisan, Ki B'Chedesh Nisan. Yeah. Even though the conclusion is Ladies Azochim is that Isha that know that the avoid of ladies Azoch again, the permanent Pnimius, is only Zera Isha when it's Mitzad the Mata, Ki, because the Achri Mat in Torah, this pre Matan Torah, Nisan exists as a mitzvah, before Matan Torah. And then comes Matan Torah and transforms everything that was given before, including the inyan of Asrusa Delayed of Chedesh Nisan. Because after Matan Torah, Gamba Chedesh Nisan, even as we now experience Chedesh Nisan, which overtly is what? All Amshachim B'Lamayla. It's our birth. You don't have choice in your birth. It happens to you. God came down and took us out of Mitzrayim. But post Matan Torah, since we're after Matan Torah, now the Pnimis HaKavana kicks in. The emphasis post Matan Torah is our avodah, even in Chodesh Nisan. So all of the Sarusa de Le'ela, it's all in order to bring out by Asya Sarusa de Le'tata, not that we ride on God's inspiration, but we take ownership, you know, as the expression goes, of the relationship and invest in it. Moving Gam, my Maimer of the Masach Shel Adwer Marasha, the Beis Nisan. We see this also, what? That the Maili Sarusa de Le'ela post Matan Torah is that it has to lead to Avedis Adam. And it points to Avedis Adam. Because he says there that Rebbe Rashav, the Balilud, the Beis Nisan, and this Fabrengim was the Chodesh Nisan, the Rebbe Rashav is Hilul is Beis Nisan, Shemedayik Shem Tchilas Hamayim, he asks over there, this is Samach Vov. He asks a very nice question. Why does Aved have to be through us? What's the Maila? With our limitations and our flaws. The love and fear of God that's granted to us, they're much loftier. That's what he asks. Now the Rebbe says, the fact that he asked this question, what's the Maila in our Avodah? Even though, I mean, he's asking a question like, hello, the whole this is, it's got to be Aveda Pnimius. Should become a drushim before. Many Maimorim explain canal that know that the Mail is Arusa de Letata, the Mail is Dafke and our Aveda Bekech Atzmai. He was asking this question all of a sudden. Why? When does he ask this question? He's asking this question in the Maimon which talks about Chodesh Nisan. And the Chodesh Nisan, but Geshes HaMailish Musu de Leila, that talks about the Maimon of de Leila. So as we revisit that and appreciate that ever deeper, then we can ask, maybe that's because we have invested Avodah. But now as we experience Chodesh Nisan, it's time to re-question again, what's the mile of our Avodah if we are lifted so much higher when it comes to Milamayla? He's asking the question, Dafke in the Maimon of Chodesh Nisan. But on the other hand, he's asking a question, he doesn't conclude with it. Moving, it's understood that even Chodesh Nisan, it's a shaila. But the answer is, Shegam Chodesh Nisan, even a month of Nisan, meaning it Maschal Chodesh Hamayim that said on this Chodesh Nisan, that talks about this Chodesh Nisan. Sheboim would geshes hamaylam shochabam melamayla, which brings out on the one hand the mile of revelation from above. Hamaskoni in the Nisan dikemaime. She yes gam mile bakech asma. It's all very good. There's also a mile in our avodah. And once you add gam, you have to see, and not especially, not also. You think especially. You think not the gam but dafke.
Even when you're talking about the mile of this.
Yeah. Wait, you're talking about the mile of? Yeah.
Even when that's the focus, it's still
okay. Even that's the focus. There's also a mile in it's also the latata. Look up miles compared to a relationship, a love, of inspiration that comes from above. It's also the leila. Oh, if you say the mizu, now he has. Moreover, not also. At the end of the day, the Ikemaili is our avodah. Shalachena maskona, the conclusion, the Kotetayra, going back to the Kotetayra, is not like the philosopher. It's all very good, has its place, but Shaledis Hazochid Mizera Isha, where's the Leda Zocha? Where's the Pumna? Where's the Pnimius? When it's our avodah, Hamayla, Shmasusa Delasata. Now I see is Gimel Va'inyanu. You think we understood it? He's going to explain it. He's going to explain it. Okay. I see looking at a greater appreciation. What does it mean when the relationship is mitzad l'maylo? Where does that take us? Okay, we'll see. It's a very yesodis dikavodah dikamayim. Okay, dear friend.
Interesting. Ha'ara 9.
Ha'ara 9.
Interesting.
Let's look at it. Gam ba'ashon b'Shabbos Pasha Shazi b'Chedesh. Oh, Chedesh here. Even in those years where we read Pasha Tazreea in the year like we will this year. Hakriya das cholas hastende b'minchas Shab. Yeah, when are we going to read Tazreea? At Mincha. And where's that going to be? In Chedesh Nisan. Yeah, that's right. This Shabbos is we're going to reach Shmini, and Tazreea is going to be at Mincha.
And also B'chein Alimud Bashir
B'chein Alimud Bashir Dechitas, B'chedesh Nisan Dekamashon. Not for us.
Yes, for us.
When's this Chedesh here? What day?
Monday, Tuesday.
So Chof Tes, we're reading the Chitas of still in Nisan. We're reading
Sunday.
Sunday.
It's going to be Nisan.
Right.
Yeah, we'll have one day. B'kamashonim. Looks like there's some years it wouldn't be that it would be right away. This Chedesh should be right away on Shabbos on Sunday. Okay, everybody likes to be current. The daily news. So you have daily news.